points.
What's your least favorite video game that everybody else likes?
Ass Creed? Go up.
I don't like Ass
Go
Creed.
up. I think a lot of people do, though. I don't know.
I think most people have jump ship, except for the hardcore fans.
I don't hate New Vegas, but I don't like it as much as everyone else does.
Well, you don't get to have an opinion on that.
Why? Because I haven't played it for 50,000 hours? You realize I had a 20-hour game into it. And I just... You're upset because I never played all the way through the campaign. Because it's boring!
It's not.
Boring!
It's the best story of all the Fallouts.
Objectively.
Well,
you don't have
of all
an
the modern
opinion.
Fallouts, Fallout 2 story's better.
In defense.
You haven't even done any of the interesting stuff, though, is the thing. You need to do the DLC. That stuff's great.
Yeah, but then I have to play through the entire game.
You have access to the DLC.
Wait,
things.
Elliot's calling you.
Pretty sure you have access.
I don't know who that is. Why is this
I
a
think
thing?
he's one of the guys I ran into.
Why are they just allowed to call you like that?
They did that a lot in Gen 2.
I know, but in Gen 4 they fixed that, so it was just a notification. I didn't think it would be that way.
No, they randomly called you up in Gen 4.
That's really... No, but it would be at the bottom of the screen. You didn't have to answer.
No, well, okay, but he still called you.
Yeah, but you didn't have to answer.
What if it was a real Wilmer?
That's not Wilmer, that's mine.
No, the little plushie she had next to her.
He's really tiny. Ew, we're supposed to be 30 meters lemon?
Rumple's 30.
He's 30 years old!
He's a 30-year-old lettuce!
When you were here, I was but the learner, but now I am the dinosaur
Why
in
does
Star
your dad
Wars.
want me dead?
Thanks for that bit of context. He just said he doesn't want you in his house anymore because you're hairy and gross.
No, but seriously, where did that come from?
Because I asked if I could have you over. It was just like, never. Tell Blage if I ever catch you in the house again, I'll shoot you. He didn't actually say that. He didn't actually tell me that.
Oh. Man, you're so bad at opinions.
What? It's just I'm not as much of an asshole as you. It's not my fault.
care.
It's video games. Who cares about my video game
have
opinion?
opinions? Ow. Okay, well, one that I really freaking hate is anything made by Ubisoft.
Yeah.
Like, I just can't stand how people are still just giving them money, and they're like, oh, hey, we're gonna do an automatic algorithm profanity filter. And then it banned people because people were trolling people saying to type this backwards, and it just so happened to spell...
Oh, yeah.
it didn't even spell it, it just had it in it.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna say it, because,
It's
YouTube
the
has-
word sagging, but it's backwards.
No,
So just...
that's where it's straight out that. This was something else, where it had it in the word so you wouldn't see it automatically.
Yeah. Because they didn't think before they implemented it.
No, sagging backwards literally is just...
Yes, I know.
You would catch that before sending that, but... So what was your favorite weapon introduced in World War One?
I really like tear gas. That was my favorite part.
I don't think that was in World War One.
Was it not?
There was
tier
poison
two?
gas. There was poison... Mustard gas.
Sure?
I don't think they used...
Yeah, mustard gas.
No, I don't think... They didn't use tear gas. Do you know that the reason Hitler's voice
Chemical
was the way
warfare,
it was is because he inhaled a bunch of mustard gas in a...
Is that real?
Yeah.
Oh.
Ow!
I'm sorry. I have a spring-loaded lightsaber and I just hit Blaze in the face with it.
My spring-loaded lightsaber.
Yeah.
You don't hit a man with
Can I
this
put it in
one.
my mouth?
No.
Blaze.
Do that.
I put it up in front of my mouth and then I pretended to hit the switch that would send it down my throat.
But yeah, the reason his voice was so gruff is because his lungs got burned by
Gruff?
a botched mustard gas attack, which a lot of times when they did that, the wind would randomly change, and they would start screaming and run the other way, and that's why they emitted gas masks.
I like that they didn't think to do that first.
Germany historically was a very confident in war.
Why does he have two plusles? That completely defeats the purpose.
Well, dude, if you had a plus and a minus, they'd cancel each other out.
They just stick together.
This way you just have two of them.
If you stick a plus and a minus them together, they become Pikachu.
Man, you were probably the worst person to interview.
Why is that?
You don't have opinions on anything.
That's not true. I do.
Okay, what's your least favorite animation software that exists?
I've only ever used one.
Based on results.
I don't know. I've only ever used one.
No, I'm saying that people use and what's considered good for that.
All the ones that I've seen are great, like Blender and Maya and probably just SFM.
That doesn't count.
Yes, it does.
It does not.
Or Mika Mika Dance, that one.
What's that?
It's worse than SFM.
Okay, but of all the... What's the best one, do you think?
Probably Renderman,
Why don't you use it?
because it costs money.
Bleed for your craft, fool.
For your craft.
I feel like being an animator has to be the worst job.
Probably.
I feel like
I
you're...
mean, you know, I feel like maybe being a soldier or something might top that, but...
I don't know, because I mean, sure, there's the risk of death, but you get to go to school in the GI Bill now. You get to... What?
That's if you make it out.
Well, yeah, but we're not in, like, a world war or anything.
Well, yeah, right now. I'm saying just in general. Being someone who's tasked with killing people and or not getting people killed.
What else?
Do I not have opinions on Blage?
Well, I'm just saying, for most part, it's really hard to get a quick opinion on something.
one.
That's why I'm saying you'd be
That's
bad.
because they're complicated.
That's why I'm saying you'd
Everything
be
is
bad.
complex.
Okay, see, that's your problem in life. You can't just commit to something. You're too, like, stuck in the middle.
Alright, give me one.
You're-
then.
you're-
Give me one and I'll stick to it.
Okay, what is the best fried chicken you can find?
Churches.
This is because I showed you churches.
Yeah, I like it.
There are, like, thousands upon thousands. Really, it's like 2 other places, but...
I've only ever had like that chicken E and KFC.
So, let me get this straight. The only reason that you, have ever had churches was because of me, right?
Yeah, I mean I might have before, but I don't remember it.
But if it weren't for me, your opinion of fried chicken would have been KFC.
No. It would have been Chicken E.
What's Chicken E?
Chicken Express.
Oh, that doesn't even count. Is there any story you can give about the worst teacher you've ever had? Change her name, obviously.
Yes.
Let's call her Miss Fluby.
Okay.
Okay, what did Miss Fluby do?
Well, one time we weren't.
Well, give some context. What is she teaching? How old are you?
She teaches math. I was in like
Oh, I don't even know who this person is.
8th. You don't know math. I think I've told you about her before, but anyway, she taught math, and her name is Miss Fluby, and so I had homeroom with her, or whatever the equivalent was in middle school.
I think it was just homeroom.
Yeah. Anyway, it was homeroom, and I was not doing so hot in math.
Wait, before you finish, when you say that, is it like the stupid thing you say where I want to punch you and beat you to death with a freaking pipe? Where it's like, oh no, I have an 80.
No.
Okay, what was
No,
it?
like I was legitimately doing poorly in math.
What's the grade?
I don't remember, but it was not good.
Okay, well, how bad is it to be that bad in your eyes then?
Probably like a 70 or 50. I don't know. It wasn't.
70's still passing.
Yeah, but it's not good.
It's not detrimental though.
Whatever. Anyway, well, that's even more to the story because it's on her end, not mine.
Alright.
So like, I was writing stuff in like a notebook because I was doing this thing where I would have random phrases pop into my head and I would try to phrase or piece them together into a story, which I know is really stupid, but that was what I was doing during homeroom. And she comes up to me, it's like standing over, and she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, I'm writing a story with all these words that are popping in my head. And she's like, well, some math better start be popping in your head, or I'm gonna have to get you in big trouble, mister.
This is homeroom though, right?
Yeah, this is homeroom.
So this is your time.
This is a break time, yes. This is a time where you're supposed to be able to do just like essentially whatever.
She's just treating it as extended
Yeah.
per class.
Yeah. This is also back when math class was 2 hours long.
Hmm.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, math and English.
Yeah.
It wasn't even. It was. They gave us a whole other period, so we heard the beep, and everybody was like, "Oh, that's when we would have been getting out."
She was the worst. Like, I remember one time I was really dehydrated because I had just come in from the dentist or something, and she wouldn't let me go get a drink from the bathroom, and the only reason she let me go was because I was like about to cry because of how dehydrated I was.
Well, I had a teacher in that grade called Mrs. Let's see if it's a good one. Let's call it Miss.
Poopa stank.
No, she's better than. I'm not calling her that.
Miss Marmy.
Okay, Miss Marmy. It's actually kind of close to her name.
No.
Anyways, so Miss Marmy, I thought she was bad at first, but that's just because I'm bad at math and it wasn't really clicking.
Yeah.
But she like came up to me and was like, "Oh, you having trouble?" And she just like worked with me one-on-one. Like she would, because there was time in class where we would just work on math. That was the benefit of having 2 periods. We wouldn't have as much homework.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what happened in your situation. That's what happened with us.
Yeah, we didn't really have much homework.
Anyway, during time where she wasn't directly teaching, she would like sit with me and teach me how to do all the stuff in detail. Because I had a slight learning disability, and all of it just came to me a lot slower. But she worked with me and didn't give up until I got it. And she was always really nice, and she also had one of those little plug-and-play Namco games. And on Fridays, we had homeroom with her. I had homeroom with math, funny enough, too. She let us play Pac-Man and stuff on it. She also let us bring game consoles and play it. She had one of those big CRTs that they had that they would just roll in. They like stored one in her room for some reason.
Because they didn't have anywhere else to put it.
I guess, and she let us play on it. I actually liked her a lot.
That's kind.
Yeah.
Most of my math teachers have been pretty good. It's just like...
Yeah. Funny thing about her, she got bored with math, and they let her transfer over to science because she thought it was more fun to teach. Apparently that happened with a lot of the teachers.
I remember in like 6th grade I had a science teacher, and she just like... I don't know how to describe her except that she didn't seem like she was there. She acted like she just was not there half the time. Oh, that reminds me. Once in class, there was a guy who had been like being a real to me in the hallways.
Demonetized for the 10th time.
For the sake of the story, I'll call him Travis.
Okay.
I think that might be his real name, so maybe don't call him Travis.
Well,
I don't think that's his real name.
So long as you don't.
I think we're good. It's just close.
So long as you don't give a last name. I mean, there's so many Travis.
Yeah. Anyway, there's this guy named Travis. He's being a real asshole, and so we're doing a lab or something, and he like goes to sit down at his desk, and I come up behind him. And I pull his chair out from under him with my foot, and then he falls on his ass and he starts crying.
Why did you do this?
Because he was being a jerk!
Wait, what did he do?
I don't remember. He was just being real mean, and he was like pushing people around.
Okay, I'm just saying, if you can't give an example of what this guy did, and all
okay,
you're gonna
I mean, literally, he was like pushing people out of his way in the hallway, and he was like going like, "Hey, fatso."
Oh, okay.
And then just stuff like that.
So,
so he fell on his butt, and he started crying, and I went back to my seat. And because I was just walking by at the time to go do something for the lab, and I think it was like a sugar cube lab, but that's not relevant.
Sugar cube?
Sugar cube.
Oh.
And that's not really relevant though. I just went back to my seat, and everyone else, including him, thought that he just like fell and slipped on the chair.
Oh,
I was like, thank God.
Kind of reminds.
I mean, I wouldn't do that now, but
that kind of reminds me of one time I needed a chair and there was this guy standing up. So I like walked over.
Zoop.
I didn't really put it together in my head that they planned on sitting down because they were like, they were doing something that looked like they committed to standing up. And then I took it and was sitting in it, and they like fell down, and they're like, "What?" The? And I'm like, I walked over, I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you I was using that now."
That's mine now. In 3rd grade, that reminds me of a story. Anytime someone would drop a pencil after like 2 seconds, if they didn't notice, I would like crawl over and grab it and put it in my pencil box. So like halfway through the year, like I was like, "Here, you can borrow my pencil." And they're like, hey, wait, those are mine. And then everyone in the teacher was like, "Michael, do you have everyone's pencils?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's my pencil." And so everyone grabbed them, because like in my eyes, I was like, "Oh, they're just gonna leave it here anyways." What stupid children.
Okay, so time for my bad teacher story. So this is teacher. I'm gonna commit to what you say. I'm gonna call her Miss Woozlestank.
Dr. Nostradamus.
This is the worst person I've ever had, and they gave her. They made me take her 3 times. I don't know why. I failed every time. I had to retake the class.
I can't believe it.
This is for chemistry. I failed every time I had her, and then I passed. No problem when I did it on my own in summer school.
She left the year after because they got rid of her.
No, she went to the Dallas district, dude. It's not because everybody hated her.
No, of course not.
Anyway, so we got to her class.
She had like a 3% passing rate.
So she has this website where you're supposed to teach yourself the class. Because she's not going to teach you everything, because chemistry is too complicated to teach everything in class.
Which little poo-poo brains like
honestly
us.
Might be a argument you could make. They really shouldn't be teaching as much as they were for just people not taking advanced classes, I think. Because even like the good ones had trouble teaching it, from what I heard. Anyway, so she'd make us go on her website. Not only do that, but...
Oh yeah,
She'd
So-
have a thing where you'd have to write down all the notes she
Yeah.
said.
Can I interject real quick?
Sure.
When she did that one time, I came in like the morning after, and I had checked it like 6 a.m. that morning, and her website was not updated for that week.
Well, I was getting into that.
Yeah, exactly.
So not even that, but okay. So her website is hosted from the school. This is important. So it works every single time at school, but when you're using it at your house, it has to connect to that, and it just don't work. So most of the time, I just didn't have access to this website. She didn't believe. Why did I leave Steve? She just didn't believe anybody. She just give everybody zeros. Ooh, she threw zeros around like they were freaking golf balls on a chicken field.
As one often does.
I was trying that iDubbbz and end card improv. I think I got it pretty well. Anyway.
Yep.
Anyways, so it got so bad. Everybody was failing. I think you're no longer in the class at this point because your schedule changed around.
No, I was there all year.
Okay, well, so then this thing happened. Oh no, I left.
Yeah.
I went to the teacher and was like, okay, the principal. I'm like, okay, do this, and I had a learning disability, so I said I'd sue the school for discrimination or something.
Did you really?
Yeah, how do you think I got out of that?
That's why I go, no.
Yeah, so they,
Like that.
when I first, please see it again. Okay, I'll tell you what he said in quotation. First, I said, okay, I need to get out of this class, it's not working for me. Well, Miss Woozlestink isn't very warm and fuzzy, but she's a good teacher if you just give her a chance. And I'm like, no, she's not. She doesn't work for me. If you continue to do this, I'll consider this discrimination, and let into the whole... I didn't say I was going to sue, but I kind of, let into it. Okay.
Sorry. It was just killing me.
Anyways, it's hard to tell a story and fight for me. I don't
Fair
know.
enough.
Anyways, so I get out of it, but the last time I'm in her class, this is very important and also very poetic. But so there's this one kid, I'm not going to say his name, but he hated her more than any of us.
Yeah.
He taught me how to remember the diatomic elements by they have the abbreviation.
Have no fear, ice cold beer.
Yeah, that. So this guy, he's just a freaking paragon in the class to me.
He's a damn legend.
He always speaks out against her anyways, so he was saying some shit against her, and she said something along the lines of, in the middle of class, "It's a good thing God doesn't strike us down." And then he looked her right in the eye and said, "It sure is."
She once brought... I came to her being like, hey, I want to take advanced physics.
Don't do that. Don't take AP Physics. It's a trap. Run. Run.
Like how you took off.
That teacher was also not great, but the
So this is one-on-one, you and her.
Yes.
Nobody can hear her.
we're in the hallway, like outside of my animation classroom. I said, she was like, Michael, I just want to let you know that I wouldn't do this for no one but you. It's like, I'm not even the top person in your class. What are you talking about? You psycho? She had a nursing degree. She didn't have a degree in chemistry.
She said that she chose to teach because she thought it was important to educate the youth. In the second class I had with her, because they thought it was a good idea, it was supposed to be simple chemistry.
Yeah.
So I was doing all of it, and it started out simple, and then more and more people kept getting added to the class. There were 6 people in the class at first, and all these people were people I had in that class that flunked chemistry.
Yeah.
I have to add, and people just weren't getting it. And one day she just gave up and started just laughing a bunch and was talking jokingly, kind of like you do when you get really mad.
Yeah.
And just stopped teaching us and just sat at her desk the rest of class.
What the hell?
Yeah, and then at the very end, this is kind of at this point I was having half days in school.
Yeah.
Because junior year was really hard.
Junior year is the worst year.
Yeah, it got so bad on me. I have anxiety disorders anyways. It got so bad on me I had to get on Prozac. And I had to stop going to school for half the day at least. All the other teachers were working with me for the work that I missed, and I had no problem passed.
Yeah.
She just left on to Dallas, because this is when the district wanted to get rid of her, and put everything in as a 0 before she left. Didn't even hand it. She could have handed it off to someone and didn't.
But no.
No, she hated me in particular. I mean, I feel like she did.
Use quick attack.
Okay.
Or Fury cut.
I had the feeling she hated me.
I mean, she didn't like you.
No.
That's for sure.
Yeah. I had like a difficulty writing because a part of my learning disability, I have bad fine motor skills. Michael likes to call it retarded hand disorder.
Well, that's before I knew that you actually had something.
Like, I was always terrible with the Wii's, that's why he got frustrated. I couldn't use the keyboard for shit. So, we had to do lab reports where, okay, we're doing this complicated
Yeah.
lab thing with questions and stuff, but nope, now you gotta, like, write this entire page. Was it more than a page?
It was usually more.
You have to write it all out. Can't have you plagiarizing. What Turnitin? What's that? Turnitin.com. And so she wouldn't let me type it or anything. So everything was illegible. And she's like, "Well, I'm not grading what I can't read."
It's like, well, I've got a disability. I don't care.
She finally budged and let me type those, but it didn't help.
No.
Every test was like a 20.
Because, like, that's the thing. For part of that is that you had to copy the directions word for word into the notes, and it's like, why even do that?
One time,
What is the point of that?
One time we were taking measurements.
And the questions.
One time we were taking measurements with a triple beam balance or something. I'm like, hey, this is what real scientists use to take mass, and she's like, oh no, they have much more accurate things. And I'm like, so these actually serve no purpose in the real world. And she just got really quiet.
She's like, yeah, pretty much.
Should I learn protect?
Or should I learn a tech?
Should I keep a tech?
You should learn protect. That way
Tech's
you
kind of
can...
worthless.
It's good if you want to waste their PP.
But need to move? No, I don't want it. Yes.
Do not want you not to be learning protect.
I do not
And
want
just
to
like that, we finally
Oh look,
beat
she's
Daisy.
Look, she's evil.
I'm a Disney villain. Wait,
Yeah.
she's the Riddler.
Oh,
She's
riddle,
making a question mark.
riddle me
They're
this.
green sparks.
Riddle me this, Bat Boy.
Why are you such a head? I
need-
wouldn't do that.
I need to
Yeah, I was
know.
gonna say you don't even have two Pokemon to double
Oh
battle.
yeah, I
with.
had an idea to
Go back.
Wait, what's this?
It's down. It's down.
I had an idea to make torture edition of this if you're interested.
Oh no.
So
It's
remem-
already torture for me.
Ah!
How did you do that?
So remember,
It's Poochyena!
say hi, Gabe.
Degenerates, hello!
Now say bye because we're leaving. Ah! Ooh, that's not how you say bye, Gabe. This is not some like archaic culture
so is
where
it
you
done?
say, "Oh, I scream now." No, we have to do the outro. It's where we go like.
We've never done that before.
That's how you end the stream.